Hello everybody, my name is Kristen. I am a Turing alum working with the Repeaters Posse. Right now I'm volunteering as the Professional Development Chair. So today I wanted to talk to you guys about interviews. If you're new to interviews in the tech field, there's a few things to know about them. One, that they're rare, right? So not every company that you apply to will want to take the time to interview you. I would say probably maybe 10% of the time, if you're lucky, right? They are unavoidable. If you want to work for a tech company, at some point you will have to interview with them. But it's also an important process both for them and for you. For them, hiring a junior is a big investment and it's kind of scary. It takes a lot of time and money and effort, so they want to make sure that you're worth that investment. And for you, it's important because you want to see if this company is a good fit. Think of it kind of like dating. It has to be a two-way street, right? So the process will be different for every company. Most likely what it would start out with, though, is going to be a phone screen. So it's just going to be a call from a team member. Maybe there'll be an HR, maybe it would be a team member that you work with day to day, but it's probably just somebody calling to see, are you who you say you are? Can you speak a little bit to some of your past and some of the things you've done? But mostly I feel like what they're looking for is, are you somebody that I would want to talk to again, maybe on a daily basis? They may give you a take-home challenge. I would say the important thing about these is to really pay attention to the parameters that they set for you. Obviously, if you don't do half of what they ask you to do, they're not going to be super impressed. So really pay attention to those parameters. And then also ask clarifying questions. If there's anything you don't understand or anything you'd like to do that wasn't specifically outlined or part of it that you're just unclear about, please ask questions. You don't want to assume something and be completely wrong. But a good thing to know is that coming in as a junior, your challenge doesn't need to be 100% perfect. They're more looking for where you're at, so they have a good barometer on that, right? So if you are lucky enough to land that big interview, maybe it's in person or today it will more likely be a Zoom call, there's going to be a lot of variables out there, right? So variables that you won't necessarily be in control of. You can't control how nice they are to you or what questions they choose to ask. So all you can really focus on is controlling yourself to the best of your ability. One of the biggest tips I can give is make sure you're prepared and have questions to ask. Research the company, know their kind of operations. Maybe you want to look up their tech stack. Maybe there's some stuff you picked up from your phone screen that you'll want to bring into this, like kind of questions about their company culture, that kind of thing. The more knowledge you have going in, probably the better, right? You don't have to be a 100% expert, but just know enough to be able to have a dialogue and also know how you want to present yourself, right? So is this a t-shirt and jeans company? I feel like most people working from home these days are probably not dressing up a lot, but maybe it's a more prestigious company that you feel like you should wear a button-up and slacks or something like that. So if you can kind of know going in, all the better. The most important tip I can give you is self-care. It is so important. Somebody at Turing said, think of yourself as a fragile houseplant, and I really like that because you have to be both attentive and nurturing. So nurturing yourself, what does that look like? You're going to need rest. Even if you can't sleep, sometimes it's hard to sleep before a big event. Make yourself rest. So lay in your bed, turn off your screens, just rest, right? Eat something. You'll need energy to kind of power yourself through the interview. Also, you don't want to get into a situation where you've got low blood sugar partway through. So try to make yourself eat something if you can. Drink some water. You don't want to get dehydrated. That's no fun. Also, you can try to help prevent dry mouth. Do some deep breathing exercises. This is huge for me in reducing my anxiety levels. Just, take a really slow, deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth and not too quickly, and doing that a few times, maybe 10 times, and then checking back in with yourself. Am I feeling better? You can also do, if you feel like you need to build yourself up a little bit, you can also stand in the mirror and do some kind of power poses with, maybe you're making kind of muscles to yourself or your hands are in the air. Just do something to, change your physical posture to try to help build yourself up a little bit, right? So during the interview, it is okay to be anxious and nervous. I've had a lot of anxiety, and a lot of times what it is, I think, is misplaced excitement. And if you think about it that way, instead of what am I so anxious about or what am I so nervous about, as like, what am I excited about here? I'm excited about this new opportunity that's coming my way. This could mean big things for me. Of course you're excited. So try to think about it that way so you're not as down on yourself. The interviewers are totally aware that you are probably anxious and nervous, and they might be a little anxious and nervous themselves. That is nothing they're going to hold against you, or at least they shouldn't hold it against you. Probably don't work there if they're holding your anxiousness against you. But it is important to just kind of monitor yourself a little bit. If you start kind of spiraling during the interview, just kind of come back to your body a little bit, take a breath, maybe take a sip of water, feel your feet on the floor, feel how your hands are positioned, just to ground yourself a little bit more, right? During the interview, be honest. It is the best policy. Be honest if you don't know something. If they ask you about a technology or a framework or something that you are not familiar with, yeah, it's okay to say, I don't know, but I would love to learn more about it. Is it sort of like, and then give them a jumping off point they could maybe talk to you about, right? You're trying to spark a conversation here. Maybe it's a little bit like this, this thing you've already learned, or this thing you're really interested in learning that you know a little bit about. Just facilitate a conversation. So you're also going to want to try to weave in throughout the interview what makes you different, like your interests, goals, passions. So most likely this will be things that you got to do without somebody asking you to do. Like maybe you got really excited about an endpoint or an API that you explored on your own for hours, or maybe this is styling that you did that nobody asked you to do. Just what do you do on your own that maybe stands you out a little bit from other people who are just getting out of school? So those are my biggest tips for the whole interviewing process. I just want to say thanks to Cameron for being brave enough to talk about how nervous he gets during interviews. Trust me, a lot of people are the same way, and it's totally fine. Hopefully this gives you a couple of tools to work around that. I also want to say thanks to my senior engineering team, Harry, JT, Patrick, Jeff, Damon, and Taizoon. They were a really big help, they answering my questions. So I appreciate it. Again, my name is Kristen, so if you have any questions, please reach out to me. Thank you again, and have a great day.